Hi, it's Andrew here with Janet Davis Acoustic Music. I just want to talk to you a little bit today about the NS Design line of electric instruments. They make the entire violin family. Today we're just going to talk about the bass and the violin, or fiddle as you may prefer to call it. These instruments were designed from the ground up as being electric instruments, which means that in addition to having a much sleeker profile than an acoustic instrument would be, it also has the electronics designed from the ground up to be to reproduce a good authentic acoustic sound, which means that they can put the electronics in the right parts in order to reproduce the way the instrument naturally produces the sound. In the case of the violin family of instruments here, they've actually put piezo elements, which is kind of the standard pickups that you use on most acoustic instruments, but they've actually included those inside the bridge so that it picks up the lateral movement of the strings as opposed to simply just the pressure underneath the bridge. This lets you get a lot more natural sound than you would by just adding a pickup to an existing acoustic instrument. So these are ideal if you're playing in a situation where you're going to be you're going to be playing through a PA system to a large audience, and where microphones can cause feedback issues and things like that. This will generally get you the closest to acoustic sound you can have while plugged in. In addition to having the pickups built into the bridge, they've also eliminated the need for the friction pegs by having basically fine tuners down at the bottom, which can tune the entire range of the string tension. So you don't need to have both the friction pegs at the top and fine tuners at the bottom. Everything's done now with just the fine tuners on this instrument, which makes it a little bit easier to work with, so you don't have to worry about the friction pegs. This particular one comes with actually two sets of pickups, one that has the more traditional under the bridge pickup, and then one that has, like I was talking about before, the piezo elements input into the bridge to pick up the lateral movement of the string. The switch here will switch between the two, and in a minute I'll give a demonstration showing the difference between the two. With the under the bridge pickups, that will get you basically the same kind of sound that you would get by putting a piezo pickup onto an acoustic instrument. And then the other setting will give you the much more rich, natural sound that these instruments are known for. As you'll see, it also has a kind of an artificial side here, so that if you're used to using the edge of the instrument as a reference as you're shifting up into higher positions, that will still give you the same feeling on your hand, so that you know when to stop shifting. And as you see, it also has a shoulder rest and a chin rest built into the instrument, which are both adjustable easily with thumb screws. So I'm going to demonstrate the two different kinds of pickups that they have on this NS violin here. So this is with the more traditional, the kind of sound you would get if you installed a pickup into an acoustic instrument. And here's with the NS design, the lateral pickup that picks up the sideways motion of the string. So as you can see, there's a big difference in the sound, and I think with the NS design pickups, they sound a whole lot better than you would get by adding a pickup to an acoustic instrument. Alright, now this is the NS design bass. It's designed pretty much the same as the fiddle, the difference being that it does have the tuners on the headstock. These are just the more traditional kind of bass guitar tuners. Should be familiar to anybody that's played electric bass before. These also come with slightly lighter gauge strings due to the fact that they have the pickups built into the bridge. It doesn't rely so much on the string tension to create a lot of sound. These are capable of supporting regular gauge strings. Some players do prefer to put on the regular gauge strings instead of the light gauge strings that comes on here. But this is actually, I kind of like these just because it's very easy to play and very smooth and very easy on your fingers. Unlike a lot of the basses that are set up for big sound with high tension strings. And like the violin, this also comes with two different sets of piezo pickups, one underneath the bridge, like you would get if you had installed a pickup onto an acoustic instrument, and also the kind that pick up the lateral motion of the bridge, and I'll demonstrate a little bit of both of these here. So this is with the more traditional kind of pickup. This is more what you get if you installed a pickup into an acoustic instrument. And here's what it sounds like with the lateral side pickups in there. As you see, though, the lateral pickups give a much warmer and I think more realistic sound, a little bit more of the thump and not quite as much of the growl. Some players do prefer a little bit of a growlier sound, especially jazz players, but I find for people that are playing folk music, bluegrass, that kind of thing, that the thumpier sound is a little bit more what they're looking for, and I think these are a great way of reproducing that sound plugged in, and especially these are a lot more portable than a real upright bass would be. I've heard people tell me that they can actually fit in the overhead compartment of an airplane, which makes them much cheaper to travel with, especially if you're going long distances than a full acoustic bass would be. And these get you close to the same sound, much closer I think than if you'd installed a pickup into an acoustic instrument.